so forth. Here you've got the result of that, and he says, how will you escape the damnation of hell? As you go through Matthew 23, look at verse 33, sorry, go back a few verses. You serpents, you brood of vipers, how will you escape the sentence of hell? Therefore, behold, I'm sending you prophets, wise men and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify. Some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city. So upon that may fall the guilt of the righteous blood, since the righteous Abel. What does that make Abel? Cain's brother Abel? According to him, he puts him in line with the prophets. Go back a long time, the prophets, don't they? Spoke good things of God, spoke what God wanted. So, Abel goes right back to the garden. To the blood of Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. Truly I say to you, all these things that come upon this generation. That means those people of that day. You understand that? Oh, brother, I don't know if I've blasphemed the Holy Ghost. I really am worried about it. If you blaspheme the Holy Ghost, you would be asking that question. You would have no conviction. You would care. Verse 37, key bit for me, what I want to talk about now. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, who kills the prophets and stones those that are sent to her. They were God's people. There's so much blood being shed in this city by good men. It's unbelievable. How often I wanted to gather you together the way a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing. There's a will involved there.
That's right, man.
If you want, put will there. He says you're unwilling, so there was a will. For I say to you from now on, you will not see me until, put a line under until, you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Now just think forward now. Let's think at the enemy, Satan. You won't see me again until you say. Now think about this. So, any thinking person or thinking being would say, he's coming back, and he says it won't be until you say. Where's he at on earth? In Israel. Whereabouts in Israel? Jerusalem. So, any wise thinking being, like Satan, wise thinking man would say, well, if he says, you say, he's speaking to Jews, in this area of the Temple Mount. Well, how do you stop that? Get the Jews out of Jerusalem. Better still, get the Jews out of Israel. Better again, get the Jews out the earth. Why Hitler putting 6 million of them into Auschwitz, Birkenau, Treblinka? You understand? That's why when you've gone, oh, they killed the Jews because the Jews had money. Please. Killed the Jews because Jesus is coming back for them. You want to stop Jesus coming back? Get rid of the Jews. Satan's known as the father of. If God becomes a liar, breaking his prophecy, how can he put the father of lies in hell? Do you understand? Why kill the Jews? Prophecy says he's coming back for them. Get rid of them, solve the problem. Satan's kingdom, he's the prince of this world still. God's sovereign, obviously, but he's allowing him still to have his way because God hasn't finished with him yet. He's still got to use him for various things. People might not like that, but it's biblical. Now watch this. He says these things, you won't see me again, as he comes out of this temple area. Okay? The disciples are with him. Think back now. Think back to that day. Think about the information the disciples had. Think about their expectations. They think that there's going to be a coming kingdom. He preaches the gospel of the kingdom. We don't preach the gospel of the kingdom. We preach Christ crucified. Gospel of the kingdom is for Israel. You'll hear someone in Jesus preach the gospel of the kingdom. Yes, he did. He was offering the kingdom to Israel. What, a kingdom before he went to the cross? That's what he offered. He was always going to the cross. We can't get upset with God's plan. He knew that he was going to be rejected. He come to go to the cross. But he still offered Israel a kingdom. Behold, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's not talking about there. He was talking about the millennium here. But they rejected it. What's happened? They've gone on the back burner, not forever. Built his church. Peter came to him over this and said to him, Lord, what are you going to do now? What's happening? What's the plan? He said, don't seem to be going the way it seems, the way you're talking. He went, I'm going to build my church. Gates of hell won't prevail against it. Not building my church, I will build my church. Future tense. Church wasn't built until Acts chapter 2. Until then, he offered the kingdom to Israel. Now, when you read Matthew 24, looking forward, just to make my point, look at Matthew 24 and read this bit of verse 14. He's talking about the tribulation period. The tribulation goes live in verse 9. The rest of it is birth pains building up to it. Look at verse 14. This gospel of the will be preached in the whole world. So what's going to happen? He comes in his first coming and preaches the gospel of the kingdom. They say we don't want it. We believe you're from the devil. Thank you very much. And by the way, Jesus, don't hit your arm on the door as you go out. Yeah, that's what they said. Oh, we believe you're from the devil. Okay. What are you going to do now? I'm going to save the Gentiles. Praise the Lord. Here we are. What are you going to do then? I'm going to rapture them away. Then what's the plan? We're going to go back to sort the Jews out. And we're going to preach the gospel of the kingdom again. See the gospel of the kingdom being preached in verse 14? That's in the tribulation.
He's going to Gentiles do the Jew job, isn't he?
We're being Christ crucified gospel preaching. Once he takes us away, it's the gospel of the kingdom. What comes at the end of the tribulation? Kingdom. Get it? Kingdom offer, kingdom closed. It's within. What Paul say? The kingdom doesn't come with drinking and eating, but righteousness, peace within. So we have kingdom life as far as children of the King today. Not kingdom theology. I'm not about money, all blessings. I'm not about that. I'm on about in our heart we have the righteousness of God now. Yeah? We can choose to do right and choose to do wrong and choose to live in the way it does in the Beatitudes. Yes? Right. But that will also be physically made in the millennium. Do you understand? We have the taste of it. What does it say? Paul said we can't describe the things that God has for us. And people normally end there. Poor theology. Read the next verse. But he has revealed these things to us. Because we know we're not coming. That's why we're here, isn't it? If we didn't